Hey guys, and welcome back to the third episode of my Thanksgiving series. Today I'm going to show you these three amazing budget-friendly desserts that you can make for your holiday table. I'll be showing you this pumpkin sopapilla, I think I said it right, chocolate cake, and a pumpkin flan. So let's get into it. They're so easy to make and super duper delicious. All right, so first I'm going to start with the sopapilla. Hopefully I said it right, but first I'm going to start by making the cinnamon sugar, which is going to go in between each layer. I've made this before, but it was a plain one. Today I'm making a pumpkin one because obviously Thanksgiving. And so, yeah, we're going to get into it. It's pretty much like a cheesecake. Like I said, I've made it before, and it's in between two doughs baked up and just so delicious. So to my cream cheese, I'm going to add my eggs down in here. I'm going to add my sweetened condensed milk, but you can use sugar if you prefer, but I just feel like the condensed milk give it like a creamier texture, and that's pretty much what most of the recipes call for anyway. Next, I'm going to add my pumpkin down in here. I decided to go with pumpkin for obvious reasons, but you can leave it out if you have to. So I'm going to season this up with some vanilla and cinnamon, and I'm just going to mix it really well and get it nice and combined. Remember, all ingredient measurements will be in my description box. Make sure you check it out, and if you haven't already, subscribe and give me a thumbs up. So now I'm going to sprinkle to my greased pan some of the cinnamon sugar. In the meantime, your oven should be preheated at 325 degrees. If you have a broke or slow oven, you need to go to 350, okay? My oven is pretty strong, and that's why I had to go to 325. Usually I would say 350, but I have a strong oven, and, you will burn it. So now I'm just going to add the mixture right on top of that, as you can see here, and then I'm going to put the next crescent roll on top. If you have excess, just cut it off if it doesn't fit your pan, and you're good to go. So once I get it nice and rolled out on top like this, and be very gentle because, it will fall down in your mixture. So now I'm going to sprinkle on some butter on top like I'm doing here. You want to slather it in butter. And then you're going to sprinkle on some more of that cinnamon sugar and pop it in the oven until it's nice and golden and toasty. All right, so this is what it looks like right out the oven. You want to allow it to cool down and then refrigerate it for some hours until it's nice and chilled and ready to go. So now I'm going to work on the flan, which is another dessert. Well, this dessert I've never made before, but I love it. I'm going to start by making the glaze. You want to pour some sugar in a heavy bottom pan. By the way, my pan is old, not dirty. And you want to leave it alone. Left it alone. Don't mess with it. Don't touch nothing. You see how me I touch something? Don't touch nothing. Leave it where it's there. Medium heat, leave it alone. While that's going on, you guys, we're going to make the filling. So in your blender, you're going to add your eggs. You're going to add your evaporated milk. I'm doing it in the blender because you want it to be super duper duper smooth. So that's why I'm doing it here. Next, I'm going to add my sweetened condensed milk. Once again, remember, all ingredient measurements will be in my description box. I tell you guys this all the time. I don't ever leave y'all hanging. So once I get this down in here, it'll be good to go. But y'all, let me tell y'all something. And of course, you're adding the pumpkin because, it's Thanksgiving. If I ever open a chicken shop, I'm putting this on my menu. It is so delicious. You hear me? This thing was so delicious. I'm adding cinnamon, vanilla, fresh nutmeg, fresh nutmeg. Don't go in at the people them shop, go buy the dry up stuff in the bottle. Fresh nutmeg. All right. I don't know if you guys noticed the theme of these three desserts so far, but I'll let you figure it out in the comments. All right, so let's get back to the sugar. This is what it looks like once I came back to the stove. And what you want to do is you want to just gently mix and get everything nice and melted evenly. As you can see, it's a nice amber color. If your sugar is getting too dark too fast, cut your stove completely off because you already know it's going to, carry over heat. At this point, I turned my stove off because, it's already melted. Now, at this point, you want to move very fast. To your greased pan, you want to add the sugar mixture, the glaze, however you want to say it. And you want to swirl it around while it's hot. Do not let that thing cool down. If it cools down, you're in some trouble, honey. You got to move. Once you get the filling on top, you're good. You could breathe. You could be ready. Make sure you set up your area before you even make that sugar, honey. Especially if you slow. Okay. So now I'm gonna add hot water that I, put for a boil in the second pan. What this is gonna do is allow the steam to steam the custard, the flan, and then it's gonna get it nice and cooked evenly and no cracks, and just like a cheesecake. It's kind of sort of like a cheesecake, you put the water so it doesn't crack. And now I'm gonna pop it into the oven. And this is what it looked like straight out the oven. Look how beautiful this thing is. You want to cool it all the way down and then refrigerate overnight and you'll be good to go. So now I'm on to the chocolate cake. This right here is warm milk, not hot boiling scalded milk, warm milk. I'm going to add some coffee to it, some instant coffee. This is going to give a pop of flavor to the chocolate cake. I'm using boxed chocolate cake, so of course I'm going to elevate it. And so I'm putting 2 good, healthy scoops of coffee to the milk to get it nice and dissolved. This is why the milk was warmed. And now I'm good to go. So to my boxed chocolate cake, I'm going to add my eggs down in here. Next, I'm going to add some cinnamon and some cayenne pepper, just a smidget. If you know, you know. If you get it, you get it. Okay. Some vanilla, of course, and the coffee milk. And some melted butter, of course. So, oh, that looked like a lot of butter, but I promise it was the, required amount. I never use oil in these box cakes. I always use butter. But you want to mix this up really, really well. And you want to then just pour it into a greased pan. And you already know how the rest of this goes. You follow the directions on the back of your box and you bake it to that direction in whatever pan that you're using. Now, with this right here, I'm not going to lie. I wish I frosted it because it would have been even more delicious. But y'all, the next time you make chocolate cake, make sure you add that coffee, that cayenne, and that cinnamon. Insane. And I know how to elevate and doctor up some stuff, but I've never done this, delicious. It doesn't need frosting, but it would have been like over the top delicious if it had frosting. And this is what it looks like. All right, so this is a sopapilla. I always do that at the end. And this is what it looks like. It was nice and cold. I didn't let it come to room temp or anything yet, so it looks, it looks cold. And yep, and that was delicious as well. This is the flan, the pumpkin flan. And what you want to do is you want to release the edges with a knife or something very flat. Y'all, when I tell you I made this recipe and didn't make sure I had something big enough to go over this pan, and I made a mess. And when I tell you I tried every plate in my house, and because of that, y'all need to see front row and center to see, the mistakes I be making sometimes. I never put y'all front row and center, but today y'all need to be front row and center. Yep, when I'm cleaning it up and everything. But y'all, look how beautiful. Oh my goodness, y'all. I'm thinking about the flan right now in the refrigerator. I want to go eat a piece so bad, but I ain't gonna do it, y'all, because I done had enough. But this is how it looks. I poured over the extra sauce that was in the pan, and this is how they all look, nice and chopped up. And again, if you make these recipes, tag me and let me know what you think. They're super cheap, super easy to make, and I think your family will like them a lot. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you on my next video. Bye.